Good morning, YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. This is IMAX Sports North Football video, and today I'm going over my Week 15 predictions for the 2022 NFL season. This video is a day late because I've been working around finals, but had some time right now, so I figured I'd get it done. First off, we have the Week 14 recap. My picks were Raiders over Rams, Lions over Vikings, Eagles over Giants, Cowboys over the Texans, Titans over the Jaguars, Steelers beating the Ravens, Bills over Jets, Bengals over Broncos, Seahawks over the Panthers, Buccaneers over the 49ers, the Chiefs over the Broncos, the Dolphins over the Chargers, and the Patriots beating the Cardinals. I was okay with my predictions. I think I got about half, maybe a little over half. A lot of my scores were about right. The Rams beat the Raiders. That was the big surprise. Lions, Vikings, I predicted the upset pretty accurately. I got the Vikings score wrong. I thought they would have put up a little bit more of a fight. Eagles over Giants, I got correct. Although I thought it would be a very close divisional game. I thought the Giants would want to fight for their playoff spot, but they just kind of rolled over and said, yeah, we're only going to take our quarter of a game advantage over everyone else. Cowboys and Texans, I had the Cowboys winning 50-3. That did not happen. I had the total score pretty close. It was 27-23, so I had 53 points versus 50. But Houston put up a much bigger fight than I expected them to. I had the score almost perfect for the Titans-Jaguars. I had 34-20. It was 36-22. I just had the wrong team. Jacksonville ran all over the Titans, threw all over the Titans. Well, they didn't run that much, but they passed all over the Titans. And although Derrick Henry had an amazing first half, they just didn't use him in the second half, which seems to be a theme in a lot of the Titans' losses. Ravens over Steelers. I had the Ravens beating the Steelers 16-4. I had the Steelers beating the Ravens 27-20. I thought that Lamar being out and how the Steelers have been playing with TJ Watt back would be helpful, but they did not get it done. I had the Bills beating the Jets by 9. They won by 8. Bengals Browns. I had the Bengals winning by 13. They won by 13. Panthers Seahawks. I had the Seahawks beating the Panthers 30-23. Panthers beat the Seahawks 30-24. So again, that game, the Jags Titans game, both of them had the score perfect. Had the wrong teams. Niners Bucks. That one I just got completely wrong. Although I got the score kind of similar. I really thought that Tampa was going to win that one. I think Tampa will win this week. But I mean, Brady's just really shocking me every single week with how bad some of these games are. Chiefs Broncos. It was pretty similar to my prediction, although it was a little more offensive than defensive. I thought the Broncos would put up a fight, but they put up more of a fight than I expected. Chargers Dolphins. I had the Dolphins beating the Chargers. That did not go as I expected. And then Patriots Cardinals probably would have been closer to my score prediction if Kyler played the full game. I still think the Patriots would have won. Obviously, Kyler played like 2 minutes. But yeah, the Patriots did get the win. I had the Patriots score pretty close. Thursday Night Football. We have the Niners versus the Seahawks. I have the 49ers winning 37-26. I think the 49ers are going to keep the momentum going. Brock Purdy looked great in his first start. I think that Seattle is going to have a bounce back week from last week. They're going to be winning for some of the game, but I think that Brock Purdy is going to have a fourth quarter comeback. And then there's going to be a defensive touchdown at the end of the game. Yeah, very specific prediction, but I just envisioned this game, how it's going to go. It's probably going to go completely differently, but I have a vision of Brock Purdy getting a fourth quarter comeback, and then the defense getting like a pick six on a desperate play the Seahawks have in the fourth quarter, at the end of the fourth quarter. Saturday games, I forgot we had these. I started making my 1 o'clock games list, and then I was like, oh wait, there's 12 1 o'clock games. Why? I realized I was missing the Saturday games. We have Vikings versus the Colts. I have the Colts losing to the Vikings 34-20. I have the Browns beating the Ravens 24-23. I have the Bills beating the Dolphins 27-20. This Browns prediction is probably going to go about the same as the Steelers prediction went last week. I think I predicted the same score, and I predicted the Steelers to win, or a similar score. The Ravens are probably going to win like 40-3. But I think that Deshaun Watson, he's had a couple weeks back now. He might be able to figure out the offense a little bit. I still don't know how the Ravens are going to do without Lamar. If Lamar is playing in the game, then I expect the Ravens to win. But if Lamar does not play, then I think the Browns have a slight edge. And that's what most of these predictions are, is whether or not I think they have a slight edge or not. If I think they have a slight edge, then I'll usually pick that team. Unless I have a feeling like I did with the Lions last week. Bills Dolphins. I have the Bills beating the Dolphins 27-20. The Dolphins are on a cold streak. I think that the Bills will look to continue that cold streak and clinch the division. I don't know if they can clinch the division this week because they'll only be 2 games ahead of Miami, and Miami still has good divisional tiebreaks. And Buffalo, I think, still has bad divisional tiebreaks. But if Buffalo wins this game, I think that they'll be very close to clinching the division. Moving on, at 1 o'clock, we have Saints-Falcons, we have Steelers-Panthers, we have Cowboys-Jaguars, we have Lions-Jets, we have Eagles-Bears, and we have Chiefs-Texans. For the Saints-Falcons game, I have the Saints and the Falcons tying at 23. I don't even want to predict this game because both of these teams have been immensely disappointing. The Saints, I expected preseason to be great. They've had a lot of injuries. They've had a lot of issues. They've still been immensely disappointing. Falcons started off very strong. They've lost 5 of their last 6 games, with their only win being really not even a win, in my opinion, because they only won because of DJ Moore running at the back of the end zone and dancing. So yeah, I don't want to predict this game. I think that 46 is probably going to be around the over/under for this one. So I think it's 23-23 tie. I expect this game to be a tie. I expect Tom Brady to lose, and then I expect this game to be a tie just so the Falcons can't catch up a full game on them. Steelers-Panthers, I have the Steelers winning 20-17. Also, a tie would be the most interesting thing for the AFC South, so that's why I want it. NFC South. Steelers-Panthers, I have the Steelers winning 20-17. Again, this might be false faith in the Steelers with TJ Watt back. The Panthers have looked really strong, but the Panthers also seem to follow up amazing games with the worst game of the season. So I expect that to continue. I have the Cowboys beating the Jaguars 36-30. I picked the Cowboys to win by a lot last week. They didn't, so this week I'm picking them to win by a slight margin. I think that because I'm doing that, they're probably going to win by 30. Also, Jacksonville's offense has been more consistent recently, but it tends to go up and down. I think that they'll have a good game against the Cowboys, but the Cowboys' defense is so strong. I think that the 30 is probably a little bit of reach. 36-20 is probably more realistic, but I really want to see a good offensive game between those two. Lions and Jets. This might be somewhat optimistic, but I have the Lions beating the Jets 40-23. I have a lot of faith in the Lions. If the Lions win this game, both teams will be 7-7. And the Lions started off, I think, 1-4 or something, or 2-5. So I think that it's not that far-fetched of a prediction. I think the Lions could very well win this game. I don't know if it will be by that much because the Jets have a pretty solid defense. But I'm a big Amon-Ra St. Brown fan, and I really need him to do well for me in fantasy. I also need the Jets to lose. So this will do both of those things. Eagles-Bears. I have the Eagles winning 33-30. On a serious note, I do think that the Lions have a better team than the Jets at this point in the season. The Jets I had higher on my power rankings because I value defense more, but I do think that the Lions have more potential than the Jets do for the rest of the year. Eagles-Bears, I have the Eagles winning 33-30. I think that the Bears will put up a fight. Justin Fields is still playing, I believe, and obviously with him on the field, their offense is going to score points, but that defense just is so bad. And then Chiefs-Texans, I have the Chiefs winning 37-20. Not much to be said in that one. 4 o'clock games, I have the Cardinals beating the Broncos 19-18. I think the Broncos defense is going to step up after their poor performance last week, and I think that whether or not, I don't know if Kyler's going to be, he probably won't be playing. If he does, he probably won't be at 100%. I think that the Broncos defense will do a number on the Cardinals offense, but I do think that they will find a way to lose somehow. Buccaneers, Bengals. Again, I obviously won't be picking Brady to win the Super Bowl in my next Super Bowl predictions video, even though I haven't been anyways, but in weekly predictions, I just have to pick Brady every week because you can't bet against Brady. It's just not a good bet. So I will put Tampa as winning every game pretty much for the rest of the season, unless they continue to lose. If they lose the next 3 games in a row, then I'll stop. But yeah. I have the Bucs winning 30-27, even though I don't genuinely believe that. I think the Bengals have a better team and are more likely going to win. But Tom Brady. Also, he doesn't usually lose 2 games in a row, but that's not been a thing this season. I have the Patriots beating the Raiders 24-20. I think that we have a more consistent team. The Raiders are coming off of a poor game, and similar to Jacksonville, they usually go up and down. So they'll probably have a good game next week. It all depends on Josh Jacobs. The Patriots have a pretty solid rushing defense when specifically talking about running backs, and the Raiders seem to only win when Josh Jacobs has over 150 scrimmage yards. So if we can take him away, I think the Patriots will win. Titans-Chargers, I have the Titans getting a bounce-back game. They've lost 3 games in a row. I think that this team is having issues, but I don't really realistically see this team losing 4 straight games. The Chargers are also coming off of a win over the Dolphins, and similar to the Raiders and the Jaguars, the Chargers will play amazing one week, and then they'll play horrible the next week. There has been less of those amazing weeks than the horrible weeks, but they've had a couple of good ones the last few weeks. So I think the Chargers will be on a down week, and Tennessee will be on an upswing. Sunday Night Football, we have Washington versus the Giants. I have the Commanders winning 24-23. This game was a tie last time. I think that I had Washington winning by 3 in the last one. Since the last matchup was a tie, I'll have Washington winning by 1 instead. I think that it will be a tight game. Both of these teams are fighting for a playoff spot. I don't think it'll be horrendous offense. I don't think it'll be bad defense. I think it'll be a good, solid matchup between both teams. Last but certainly not least, we have Monday Night Football, Packers versus Rams. I have the Packers beating the Rams 30-27. I'm surprised that this game did not get flexed out like the Patriots-Raiders game did. This would have been preseason one of the most anticipated games of the season. Now it's just kind of tank bowl. The Packers have looked okay in their couple games leading up to their bye, but it hasn't been anything to write home about. And the Rams, Baker Mayfield looked good last week. Not much to be said there. The defense still looks bad. Yeah. Although they played well against the Raiders, apparently. So, we'll see what happens with that one, but I'm not expecting much. So, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace. Huge shout out to Quinn Lacey for supporting the channel with a channel membership.